The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to the Ring and All of the Sports. My name is Leo Connors, I'm your host, and I have a very special guest, professional wrestling manager Sidney Bakabella.
How are you?
Not bad, thank you for coming in.
I don't have my hand sanitizer here. I noticed your cup here. I noticed your cup has a D. My name is not Bakabella. Is that for Dick? You calling me Dick?
No, I'm actually, I don't know if you've ever watched the show before, Sidney, but my old co-host's name was Derek Dukes. I don't know if you know Derek at all.
Derek Dukes. I don't know Derek Dukes. I know David Duke. Don't want to be any part of him, so I probably don't want to be any part of Derek Dukes either.
Okay.
Probably a piece of garbage.
Oh.
What is he, one of those guys who moves down south, huh?
Yeah.
You know why? South. You know why? It's a lot cheaper down there. They can't afford it up here, so they got to move down there.
Yes.
That's what it is.
I agree with that.
That's right.
All right, so Sidney, what I usually do is I like to ask about, your life. You know what I mean? We start off like, where you grew up and things. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dallas, Texas. There's a rumor going around that my father was Eddie McLemore. And because my mother used to hang around the shows at the Sportatorium back in the 50s and 60s. So there's a small rumor out there. I don't believe it. I don't know who my father is. But I got my start in pro wrestling selling popcorn at the Sportatorium. They told me to sell it for a nickel. Every single bag of popcorn was a nickel. And then after a while, I noticed that people had more money than a nickel. So I started charging them 10 cents, 15 cents. So I get a cut from McLemore. And then when Fritz von Erich took over, I got a cut from Fritz von Erich. And then from there, I got my money as well through later on in the shows. So I was walking out of there with about $2 a night.
Wow, that's
Absolutely.
Pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So you were around the Von Erich boys and stuff.
I used to babysit the Von Erichs.
Wow.
Von Erichs, every one of those kids, nothing good about them. I'm telling you right now. Kerry Von Erich used to go to the corner store with posters for his dad's wrestling show down at the Sportatorium, but he would walk out with a bunch of candy, and then at 8 years old, he started stealing beer.
Whoa.
Not a good man. Kevin never owned a pair of shoes in his life. That's a shoot, brother.
Yeah, I've never seen him with shoes on.
That's right. And then Fritz never wanted to buy his kids shoes. He's so cheap, he would pocket all the money, go to the casinos.
Wow.
Had a gambling problem. I'm spilling all the dirt tonight, folks.
Wow.
All the dirt.
Wow. So you obviously found professional wrestling when you were just a kid. You pretty much almost born around the business.
Professional wrestling found me.
Wow.
Professional wrestling found me, and I would drive, I would hit all the towns, I would work for every single promoter that would pay me with the exception of Jerry Lawler, because Jerry Lawler is cheap.
I've heard that.
Jerry Lawler wants you to drive 8,000 miles in a weekend, and then he wants to pay you $4. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go up and I'm going to work for Paul Bosch.
Oh, Houston.
Down in Houston, absolutely. He could never get the Summit, though. Never wanted to book the Summit. He would always book the Coliseum. He could only fit 700 people in that Coliseum. He was afraid to work the Summit.
Wow. These are things I did not know at all.
Absolutely
This is awesome. So now, as a kid,
Yep.
did you play any sports as a kid?
I never played any sports. Sports are fake. I only wanted to do the real sports. I only wanted to do professional wrestling. But then, found out it was really hard. So what I did was I used my brain, my big noggin. And I went out there and I started signing all these guys little tiny contracts. And they didn't know it. They don't mean anything. These contracts don't mean anything, but in their eyes, they're wrestlers. They're stupid, so they're going to sign all the contracts. I get all the money, and they go out there and work, and I don't have to take a bump.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Well, now you got me curious. You must have had like an idol in the professional wrestling business, a manager or whatever. Who were some of your idols?
One of the best managers of all time, nobody ever really knows about him, was Bobby Davis. Used to manage Buddy
Rogers.
Absolutely, when he came up to New York.
Yes.
That guy could talk, had the silver tongue, always loved him. And then, of course, Wizard. Loved the Wizard.
Yeah.
Wizard and I, we never crossed paths, unfortunately, because he was always up in New York, and I'm traveling every territory.
Right.
Never got to meet him. And, then a lot of the newer managers that are out now, guys like Bobby Heenan, a lot of respect for him. Jimmy Hart running around there with the megaphone, getting heat down in Memphis, like him a lot. Even the pimp. Who's the
Slick?
Slick, absolutely. Love the pimp. He's a great guy.
I
Minister.
don't think he was a pimp. I think he was a minister.
He's a minister out there. Vince Jr.'s a racist, so he's going to go out there and he sees Slick. What does Slick look like? A pimp, absolutely. He's going to be a pimp.
He does look like a pimp, though. You're absolutely right on that. So I guess I'm curious to who was the first guy you managed?
First guy I managed, oh, there's so many of them. I know one night down in Texas, they brought in a young Blackjack Mulligan. Blackjack Mulligan came out with the glove, couldn't cut a promo to save his life. So Macklemore says, hey, Sidney, I want you to go out there and I want you to manage him. See if you can draw him some heat. We started a riot.
Wow.
That's a new sportatorium that they have now because we burned that sportatorium down. I took the gas myself. I remember it. I poured it all over it and boom, let a match. Gone. Killed 18 people that night.
18 people?
18 people, absolutely.
Wow. I have to say, Blackjack Mulligan was one of my favorite wrestlers when I was a kid.
Yep.
One of the first guys I liked.
Yep.
You know what I mean? As the bad guys. As a little kid, I liked the good guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as I grew a little bit older, I started to like the Blackjacks as a tag team. Fantastic. Would you ever manage them by chance? Like Blackjack Lanza?
No. What happened was Bobby Heenan saw that I was making money down in Texas, and he's going to politic.
Right.
So what Bobby Heenan does is he goes to Vern Gagne. Says, all right, I want to manage the Blackjacks. So he goes to the Crusher, he goes to Dick the Bruiser out in Indianapolis, and they all bring in Bobby Heenan because Bobby Heenan's going to play ball and not ask for a lot of money. Sidney Bakabella, I got a big fat wife and 8 kids to feed. I've got to get that money.
Right, I understand that. Now, you said you also worked for Paul Bosch. Who did you manage down there?
Paul Bosch, I was managing this kid, Ted DiBiase.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to go to Vince Jr. Vince Jr. keeps looking at him with a bunch of money in his eyes. I say Vince Jr. The dumb thing about Vince Jr. is that he's into this cable television. Absolutely not. Every single person with half a brain knows satellite dish and closed circuit TV are the way to make money. If you want to make money, get a satellite dish, get on satellite TV, go to Japan.
Wow. That's not a bad idea.
I know.
That's not a bad idea.
That's why I'm smartest man.
So, did you ever work for Don Owens?
Don Owens, no.
No. For Don, I heard Don was cheap.
Don was cheap. Don wants you to go up there and he wants you to put over all of his Canadians. Right. And I would never, ever put over a Canadian.
You don't like Canadians?
It's not that I don't like them, it's that I don't trust them.
Okay.
So what they're going to do is you're going to go out there and put those Canadians over and they're going to get the bigger paydays. All the time. They don't grease your palms if you put them over, if your guys come up there and put them over. I remember Kabuki went in there with a $200 guarantee and ended up owing Don Owens $400 at the end of the tour. I don't know how it happened.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. And they've had some great wrestlers up in that area. So, all right, so you were in like the Texas area.
That's right.
For Fritz and the Macklemore.
Yeah.
And then you moved over to Paul Bosch.
Yeah.
Where did you go from there?
From there, we go up to Vern Gagne. And this is where the story gets good because Vern Gagne loves his wrestlers.
Yes.
Vern Gagne loves his wrestlers, but he also, for some reason, loved his son. His son, not a good wrestler.
Right.
His son just had the long legs. He could do the drop kicks with the high jumper there from Minnesota.
Jimmy Brunzell.
Jim Brunzell, piece of trash. Jim Brunzell. High jumper, that doesn't mean you can wrestle. And then he got renegades up there. Anyways, they put me with the largest man I'd ever seen in my life, Jerry Crusher Blackwell.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Crusher Blackwell had the sugar diabetes. And on the road, his blood sugar would raise all up and down, like a roller coaster ride. All of a sudden, Jerry Crusher Blackwell couldn't work anymore.
Oh.
That's right.
I got to ask you, did you come across a guy that's not a very nice guy? Buck Rock and Roll Zumhoff.
Buck Rock and Roll Zumhoff is a great father. I will say that. Now, Buck Rock and Roll Zumhoff, great father, great parent, dad of the year. Also owns a limo business, but it's not insured. So all you do is call up your old friend Buck, and he'll come pick you up, and it's not even a limousine. Buck Zumhoff is the biggest carny that there is. Great dad, big carny. So he'll come and pick you up. You give Buck $20 for gas. It only costs him like $1 or $2 for gas, but you get to ride in the car with Buck Zumhoff. That's a shoot.
Wow.
That's a shoot.
Wow. I don't know if I'd like to drive with Buck Zumhofe because I don't know.
You don't like rock and roll music, or you don't like
I
one-piece
love rock
suits?
and roll music. I just don't know if I like Buck Rock and Roll Zumhofe. That's all.
Hey, whatever you hear about him on the dirt sheets,
Yeah.
don't trust Dave Meltzer at all. That's
Gotcha.
fabricates everything.
All right. So now, while you're in the AWA,
Yeah.
how did Bruiser and Crusher treat you?
Bruiser and Crusher treated me great. I know Jerry so well up in Milwaukee there. King of Milwaukee, rolling out the barrels. He would take us out. He would get us the dollies. Oh, it was the greatest time of my career, I'm telling you right now. And then it ended because Vern Gagne's cheap. Vern Gagne's cheap, and he can't keep up with the business.
Right.
So that's going to end soon, too.
Did you end up working for Bruiser in Indianapolis?
Never worked for Bruiser because Heenan was there. Heenan, and then he had that ring announcer.
Heenan's everywhere.
Heenan is the foil. All the time. Heenan is the guy. He's the reason I only did that one TV taping in Hershey back in '84. Wow. He's the reason, I'm telling you. So he also had a ring announcer down there, does the late night shows now too, Letterman. That was the ring announcer. Oh, and wow. I know just by looking at him, nobody else knows that. I know that. Sidney Bakabella knows that. Sidney Bakabella knows everything.
Yeah, it seems that you do know everything. So now, after you left Gagne's promotion, where did you go after that?
Well, that's when Mike Quackenbush called me. So he got a call from Bob Geigel. Geigel, always instrumental
Kansas
in
City, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Muchnick as well from St. Louis.
Yes.
We were doing a killing.
Wow.
We were doing crazy money in St. Louis at the Chase. And now all of a sudden, territory's drying up. Go to Quackenbush. Quackenbush says, well, you got to find guys. I don't have guys. I look at the roster. It's all a bunch of little greased up, oily, skinny kids in pajamas. I book men. All right? Wrestling is about men with barrel chests.
Well, we've come to the perfect point in the show then, because I like to play a thing called the name game.
Name game.
All right?
You name them, I'll frame them.
I know a few guys that you have managed, and if I'm wrong and I mix up, just please, don't kill me.
Yeah, I've managed every pro wrestler that there ever was, starting with Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's another show.
You must be very old. I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feelings or anything.
Nope.
For once, I actually have a guest that's older than me.
I don't know about that now. I mean, I keep myself in good shape. I do 100 push-ups every day and eat a porterhouse steak every day and take a warm bath. That's how it looks so good.
Wow.
Barrel chest.
Yes, and
that's right.
The Rocket shirt. I gotta love it.
Oh, yeah, Sean, these are two of Vern's kids.
Yeah,
good kids. Never going to have a problem in their career whatsoever. Mark my words, these are the best kids you'll ever see.
Wow, that
Absolutely.
is awesome. All right, so I want to talk about, how about Max Smashmaster?
Max Smashmaster maybe getting Jerry Blackwell big. He's got the sugar diabetes. But Max Smashmaster, one of my all-time best friends in the whole wide world, he actually comes over to my house. We lift weights and eat porterhouse steaks.
Nice.
Love him.
Nice.
Love him.
Now, a couple other big guys that you've had in your stable. Blaster McMassive.
Blaster McMassive, no good piece of garbage. That's right. We dumped him on his head at Chikara. No good piece of garbage. Good to have him out of my life. Haven't talked to him since.
Wow.
That's right. Won't even send him a telegram.
Are you still around with Flex Rumble Crunch?
Not at all. Flex Rumble Crunch, another no good piece of garbage.
Really?
That's right. So these guys here, they want to call themselves workers.
Right.
Sidney Bakabella is a worker.
Right.
And I can tell when there's a fake and a phony in my presence. So these guys here, they want to be wrestlers. So what they're going to do is they're going to go to the gym. A wrestler goes to the bar. A wrestler doesn't go to the hotel after the show. He goes to the bar. And that's what Max and I do. Those two guys would go back to the hotel and play video games. Sidney Bakabella doesn't want to play Pong. All right? I don't want to play Frogger.
Right.
I want to win. I want to make money.
Nice. Now, you've had some problems with some insects. Some ants, as a matter of fact.
Absolutely.
I'd like to talk a little bit about a bunch of ants that you've had problems with, like soldier ant.
Soldier ant, one of the big... He's not even in the military. It's false valor.
Get out of here.
I'll say it right now. Silver Ant, I am going to go on record right now, and I'm going to expose you. Silver Ant is Coco Beware. Or Soldier Ant is Coco Beware.
No.
Absolutely dies his skin. He paints it.
I was going to say, because he
paints it.
Wow.
Mike Quackenbush is a carny. So what he does is he's going to paint their skin, and he doesn't want Coco because Coco's got the Vince Jr. contract, so he can't have him. So now he comes in, soldier in the Army.
So you, when you got so excited about that, you actually mentioned another ant.
Yeah.
Silver Ant.
Silver Ant.
He's been a thorn in your side also, hasn't he?
Silver Ant kicked me right in my face one time so hard I lost 47 teeth.
Wow.
All right, I don't even know if I have 47 teeth in my mouth.
Wow. I know I don't.
Yeah, but Silver Ant kicked me right in the face, knocked me unconscious for 4 days. My body temperature went to 17 degrees. We'll get him back. He'll get him back.
Has there any ants that you do like?
No.
No, not
No,
so
I don't
fire
like-
ants, no good. Rescue ant, none of them guys.
Rescue ant. I do like missile assault ants.
He was next. So what
All
about
right.
him? You like him? Why?
I like missile assault ant because he's not a real ant. Now he's missile assault man.
Oh.
So yeah,
nice.
it's really confusing.
I
down
am
in
like
Chikara.
behind, I guess, on that. I need to be getting up on my Chikara.
Chikara is the most confusing place in the world. Evidently, this guy here, he blew up a bus with a bunch of kids in it, and I like that. I can appreciate that because as a military man, when I was in Nam, I would only go after hospitals. I would go after schools. That way, I get more kills. So I can appreciate that. I can appreciate a man that does that.
What about, is there a new ant, Orbit Adventure Ant, or has he been around a while?
Orbit Adventure Ant was there, then he was gone, then he came back for a couple of months, and then he went to South Africa, I think it was.
Really?
And yeah, something about a home invasion at his mother. I don't know what the deal is.
In the colony over there?
Haven't seen him since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, there was a couple of guys, I don't know if they're still in Chikara, and they came from another country, if I'm not mistaken. Aries in Tursos?
Yeah, Tursus.
Tursos.
Tursus.
Yeah. He's a big dude.
Tursus. I would love to manage Tursus because he looks like a real man. Unfortunately, he's not a man. He's a goat or whatever he is
yeah,
there.
I was gonna ask, you don't know what he is. I don't either.
I don't know what. I never saw him without his mask because I don't think that's his mask. I think that's his real face. And then Aris, Aries there, he and I actually go way, way back to my tours overseas in Europe when he was with Swiss Money Holding
Yes.
with Claudio Castagnoli.
Yes.
And now Aris is married to a good friend of mine.
I know who.
Absolutely.
Allison.
Oh, I love Allison Danger. Allison
Yes.
Danger. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
She is fantastic.
She puts on 200 pounds. I'll make a wife out of her.
I got a couple of guys that I know. One of the guys is now working with Ring of Honor. You've heard of Ring of Honor?
No, never
Okay.
heard of it, but probably one of these outlaw promotions.
Yeah.
Absolutely. yeah.
Delirious.
Delirious. Couldn't
Can't
understand the word.
Me either.
No.
I don't know what he's saying all the time.
No. How do you call a match if you don't speak the language? And then you bring over the Japanese guys, he doesn't speak that language. You bring over the Australian guys, he doesn't speak the Australian language.
Right.
You bring over the guys from England, he doesn't speak the England language, doesn't speak American, doesn't speak Mexican. I don't know what the words are.
Yeah.
But he's a good worker. That guy there, oh, he's good.
I seen him have a match with some guy named Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
And they're running around, and Delirious is throwing chairs in the ring, and as he's running around to get more, the referee's handing him to Colt, and he's putting them back. I was very confused if it was a wrestling match or if they were playing, Ring Around the Rosie.
Musical chairs ring around
Yeah.
the Rosie. Now, I got Colt Cabana. Vern Gagne sent me Colt Cabana coming up May 13th at Limitless Wrestling. I'll be managing Colt Cabana up in Maine, up in Westbrook, Maine. Colt Cabana's no nonsense, doesn't do any comedy wrestling. That's what I like.
Wow.
That's right.
We might have, I don't know if that's the same Colt Cabana that I know.
That's
but
right. Chicago, hardcore Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah,
Used
blood
to
and
be
guts.
friends with that other guy, the one that tried to fight in the UFC.
CM Punk.
CM
That's
Punk,
right.
yeah.
That's right. I
I
know.
almost called him MC Punk.
MC Punk.
He wouldn't have liked that if I
CP
did that.
Monk, you know, there's tons of punks out there.
Yeah.
But he's one of the best punks I know.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Another Chicago guy.
Yeah, you love the Chicago guys, huh?
Love those Chicago
live there?
Bulls. You know, I
For a little
spent
bit
time.
when you were in Vern's area?
I spent some time in Chicago. I've partied here and there on the north side in Andersonville. Great place to party. I know all those new Chicago guys, the Punks, the Cabanas, the Priests, the Daniels, all those guys there.
Danny Daniels, not Christopher, correct?
Both of them.
Both of them. Okay.
Christopher Daniels, a Chicago guy. Windy City Wrestling, Sam DeCero. Sam DeCero running Windy City Wrestling. He was the old job guy with Sonny Rogers and Sunny Beach. It's just a great time.
Nice,
Great time.
Nice. There's another guy that came around with Delirious years ago, a little dude.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I heard he might be working with Vince.
Who's that?
Jimmy Jacobs.
Jimmy Jacobs. Jimmy Jacobs, one of my best friends in the world.
Really?
I love Here's the thing about Jimmy Jacobs. And I don't say a lot of nice things about people because there's nothing nice about people. But Jimmy Jacobs, one of the smartest men you will ever meet in pro wrestling. That man's brain is just bigger than anything else in the world. He's the smartest man in pro wrestling, sometimes too smart.
Wow.
But he's good. That guy's got a brain. I'm so happy for Jimmy Jacobs making that Vince Jr. money.
I'll tell you, I heard back when he was coming around, when he was first starting out, they were yelling emo and stuff at him.
Yeah.
You must not like emo people.
No,
you don't like anybody,
no,
do you?
I don't like anybody, but those emo people are a bunch of girls, all right? We are men. We breed men in this world, and these guys here are painting their fingernails. They're wearing eyeliner. Sidney Bakabella never wore eyeliner a day in his life.
No, I don't. And neither have I, just so you know
That's
that.
good.
Neither have I.
Good.
So, all right, so there's another guy that you manage that I'm a really big fan of. And he's the king of Yow!
Jaka, Island Savage. So here's the thing. I found him on Craigslist. All right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Found him on Craigslist. I put out a personal ad. I needed a wrestler, so I put it under the M for M. And Jaka responds. We get to talking. We send some pictures back and forth. He looks like a wrestler. I bring him in. That guy there. We trained him. He didn't even know how to hook a leg when I first met him. And then all of a sudden, he's one of the biggest stars in wrestling right now.
He actually is.
That's
he
right.
actually is. And he's got a real great tag team going with some guy on Chris Dickinson. In
Ah.
fact, they
I don't
look
really
good
know him.
together.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, they do look good together.
All right.
I got another guy I want to talk to you about from down in Chikara, and I'm probably going to butcher his name because I butcher a lot
That's
of names.
okay.
Oleg the Usurper.
Oleg the Usurper.
Usurper, that's what it is.
You know what usurper stands for?
No, I actually don't.
It's French for piece of garbage. So Oleg the Usurper, one of the biggest pieces of garbage. I took this guy in. He didn't even know how to read, didn't know how to hook a leg, didn't know a wristwatch from a wrist lock. And all of a sudden, he wants to turn on me, put me out of commission for almost a year by taking my head off. People thought I died. I was just laying there. I took a nap. I was tired. Everybody thought I died. They were putting money in the ring and everything else. I took the money. And then they do a charity show for me. Down in St. Louis, they do a charity show. Everybody thinks I died. No, I showed up at the end of the show, pocketed the money, and went home. I mean, they're gonna run a show in my name. Come on now.
That's a smart move to make.
Oleg the Usurper, piece of trash. If you're watching this, and I'm sure you're not because you can't afford a computer because you're poor, you're cheap, and you're a piece of garbage.
I got another guy to talk about. He seems very weird to me. I'm sorry, but Sin Bodhi. Do you know him?
Absolutely. He was one of the guys that helped us shut down Chikara. So that is a weird man. So, when we were all planning on shutting down Chikara, because we're sick of Mike Quackenbush taking all the money.
Right.
So we're planning it all out, and there in comes a clown. I'm like, oh, it's Matt Bourne. No, it wasn't Matt Bourne. So I thought it was Ray Apollo. It wasn't Ray Apollo. It was this other guy. So we get to talking, and every really, really smart man. Talks a lot of carny. Yeah. Even when there's no fans around, talks a lot. Hey, no, we don't need that. Just talk to me like a human being.
Right.
Good guy. Good dude.
Good guy, huh?
Good dude.
Now, do you have any issues with Eddie Kingston?
Absolutely. I have tons of issues with Eddie Kingston. First of all, he's a New York Yankees fan, and everybody knows that I love my Boston Red Sox.
Me too.
So right there. And then Eddie Kingston steals my cigarettes all the time. Eddie Kingston, you owe me 14 packs of Newports. I've been keeping track because I know that you're the guy that goes out there and hey, brother, let me get a Newport. Hey, Bakabella, let me get a Newport. I don't want to give you a Newport. Those cigarettes are like 50 cents a pack. I don't have any money.
Wow. And you just made my grandson very sad because he loves Eddie Kingston. And the next guy that I'm going to ask you if you've ever come across, and if you have, I'm sure you probably watched what you said. A guy by the name of Homicide.
Oh, Homicide. I don't watch what I say around Homicide. Let me tell you, Homicide, you are a studio gangster, and I've told you that to your face when I slapped you that one time back in Poughkeepsie. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not afraid of Homicide. He's not here, right?
Nope, he's not here. He's not here. He's in New York still.
Good.
Don't worry.
Good.
He's still in New York.
Homicide, he, one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. And on top of that, though, if I could shoot for a second, better trainer. One of the best wrestling trainers you could find. Great mind for helping the young guys become really, really good and blossom into great stars, except Eddie Kingston. I don't know if Eddie Kingston trained there. Eddie Kingston doesn't know a wrestling move to save his life. Just wants to go out there and punch people.
He looks like he can punch people pretty good too, Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
I will say that. Well, seeing that you told me earlier that you were in Texas and all that,
Yeah.
I have to ask you because I was a big fan of World Class Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
And you ever run across Tully Blanchard and Gino when they were with you? Were you in Houston with them? Oh, tell me about
I was
those
in
guys.
both. I stayed away from Tully Blanchard and Gino Hernandez, especially Gino Hernandez. He was into some bad stuff, some bad voodoo. So I didn't want to get involved. Remember, I got a big fat wife and 8 kids to feed. Papa Bear's got to get home. Papa Bear has to go home. So I never ran with those guys. I do remember I came up with the idea, though, of shaving Gino's head. And may have messed it up because Bosch told me to book a show one night. So he said, yeah, we'll book the hair versus hair match. And I thought we were booking it on the Wednesday. He wants to book it on the Saturday. So we book it on the Wednesday. Gino Hernandez gets his head shaved. Then all of a sudden, we're advertising the hair versus hair match with Gino going under on Saturday. Gino shows up with a bald head. What do?
Oh, no.
We still got their money.
Very nice. One more guy from that territory.
Yeah.
Gentleman Chris Adams.
Gentleman, Chris Adams, not really English.
Really?
Yeah, I'll blow your mind, won't I?
Really thought he was.
Absolutely. From Hoboken, New Jersey.
What?
Chris Adams, fakest accent I've ever seen. If you can't read through that, you are an idiot. Gentleman, Chris Adams from Hoboken, New Jersey, was a waiter. And Fritz Von Erich came up for a meeting with Vince Jr. and Savoldi. They wanted to do some sort of joint show. It never worked out because they're all too cheap. And Chris Adams was the waiter. Vince said, "Oh, damn, you look really good." And Fritz started talking to him then, and Fritz offered him like $10 more or whatever a night and got him down there.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. I had absolutely no idea that he was from New Jersey. We're going to go back to
How long's that water been out there?
No.
That water's been out there since Derek left.
Oh, maybe. All right, so listen. There's a guy in Chicago that I'm confused. He's got like pieces, like a puzzle on his face.
Oh, puzzle face.
Is that what it is?
It's puzzle face.
Is it really puzzle face?
Jigsaw.
That's what, yeah, I knew it was Jigsaw. That's his name.
Let me tell you a great story about puzzle face. You know why they put a mask on him? Because he's the ugliest human being you've ever seen. Him and his brother. 2 ugliest human beings. I don't even think they're human.
He's got a brother in the business?
I don't know if he's in the business or not. He's in the business of being ugly. Both of them.
Very
Both of them.
nice.
Yeah, Jigsaw. I remember one time I was teaching him how to do the triple flip because that's my finisher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back in the 40s, he used to do the triple flip thing there, and Jigsaw did it, broke his tailbone. Then tried to go out there and wrestle, and we kept doing atomic drops over and over and over and over and over again. Oh, it was the best rib I ever pulled on that idiot. Yeah, he's an ugly human being.
Wow. What about this guy really creeps me out? Ultramantis Black.
That guy's into voodoo.
Yeah,
I
something.
don't like the voodoo that you do. Ultramantis is he's into black magic. He's into Wiccan. He's the devil.
Whoa.
I don't like it.
Wow, he's a big guy too. He seems. Is he a
he's
big guy?
He's about 6'2", maybe 220, 225, which in this day and age is a big guy.
Right.
Not where I'm from.
Right.
Well, the time where I'm from, a wrestler, a smaller guy was 6'6", 395 pounds. That was considered small. That was you were going to be the light heavyweight champion. Wow. Now these guys are all heavyweights.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a guy, now, I don't know if you know this, but I was adopted as a kid, and I'm Spanish. So I was wondering if you think that Juan Francisco de Coronado could be my father.
You never know. And if he was your father, you are a lucky human being. You know how much Juan Francisco Coronado's worth?
No.
$17,437,832.94. That man is rich. He is Ecuadorian royalty. Those bow ties alone are $10,000 bow ties. He sells them to the poor people at the merch table for $5 as charity, writes it all off because he's got the work visa here in the United States, so he writes it all off for taxes. Everything's great.
Wow, so he's like the richest man in wrestling.
He, outside of Wolfman, Jason Sanderson, absolutely.
Yeah, Jason's got a lot of money, too.
Man.
Yeah, just built a nice home.
Absolutely. What I wouldn't do to just be that guy's friend and work that guy into taking all of his money. You know, I would talk to him, I would pretend I were his best friend, and I would just, hey, brother, let's run a show. And I would book all these guys, and, it would be the greatest thing you'd ever seen.
Wow.
Oh.
Jason is a good man. I like Jason a lot.
Jason is a good man.
I wanted to talk to you about some other guy. I think he's having he's trying to figure out who he really is. One time I see him, his name's Chuck Taylor. The next time I see he's Dustin.
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused.
Well, he's
What's
an
up with
idiot.
that guy?
You know, Chucky T, Chuck Taylor.
Yeah.
Idiot. So he wants to go on the World Wide Web, the keyboard.
Yep.
And he wants to tell everybody, I'm quitting at the end of the year. Well, guess what, pal? You just lost your entire gimmick because Quackenbush is a smart man and copyrights everything. So Chuck Taylor wants to say, oh, I'm quitting. Mike Quackenbush, he needs Chuck Taylor. All right, Chuck Taylor's a staple at Chikara.
Right.
So you bring in the little midget there. He's now Chuck Taylor. Can sing a whole lot better than Chuck Taylor.
He's actually a different skin color than Chuck Taylor, the one I know.
He just tans a lot more. So he's got the Vince Jr. New York tanning ocean there that Pedro Morales used. Pedro Morales actually isn't even Puerto Rican. He's an Italian from Hoboken.
Another Hoboken
Everybody's
guy.
from Hoboken. Everybody in the Northeast is from Hoboken, New Jersey.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow, then that's like a pretty bad place I've heard. Besides, the only place I've heard in New Jersey worse than Hoboken might be Newark.
I've never been to Newark.
I have.
I won't even drive through there. I
don't want to.
I'll get off and do the loop.
Yeah, you don't want to go
Absolutely.
to Newark, trust me.
No.
All right, so there's another guy in Chikara that scares me too, kind of like Ultramantis Black, Frightmare, and also another guy real quick. I think they team together sometimes. Hallowicked.
Hallowicked, yeah, he was the grand champion there, won the title over in England, and he's a big dude too. Hallowicked is about 6'6", 240 pounds, big guy compared to nowadays.
Right.
Not Dick the Bruiser. He's not Dick the Bruiser.
Right, or Crusher.
But absolutely not. He couldn't hold up a keg of anything. They don't even drink. And then Frightmare's the size of his boot. You know, but Frightmare is this little spaz. Gets back there, gets all sugared up or whatever he does, goes running around the locker room, goes out for his match. It's insane. That kid there, it's absolutely insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What about, see, Chikara confuses me.
Confuses you? I worked there for years.
There's like a baseball player there, Dasher Hatfield.
Oh.
What's up with that guy?
Oh, I wish he would do the Ted Williams thing and die. Dasher Hatfield, one of those guys that's going to go out to the merch table there and give away his, take a picture with the people for free. I charge $75 to take a picture with Sidney Bakabella. This guy here, oh, can I have a picture? Take a picture with him, hugging all the dirty people. Then they want to come over to me and hug me. And I don't want that. I'm a clean guy, big fat wife and 8 kids. Can't come home smelling like Wrestle Granny.
Wow. There's, I'm a big fan of ice cream.
Yeah.
But are you a fan of ice cream in Chikara?
Absolutely
like
not.
as the Los ice creams?
So you mean Tracy Smothers and Brad Armstrong? I'm not a fan of those guys at all. That's right. They've been pulling double duty from the Crockett's, coming up and working for Quackenbush. It's Tracy Smothers. It's Scott Armstrong, not Brad Armstrong, and sometimes Bullet Bob. Bullet Bob Armstrong might be an ice cream too. But yeah, they are the Southern boys. They come out there. They do it's because they don't like Mexicans.
Wow, I had absolutely no idea that Bullet Bob was still working.
Bullet Bob works 4 times a week.
Wow.
Absolutely. He actually hurt his hip one time, came out and wrestled in a wheelchair, did 2 drop kicks out of his wheelchair, pinned the guy, got back in his wheelchair just to cover for his disability checks and his Social Security so he gets the insurance and the lawsuits.
Is it true that you had problems with Sheik Adnan Al-Casey when you worked for Vern?
Sheik Adnan Al-Casey's a no-good bum. Let me tell you a story about Adnan. I do the fire. Adnan does the fire. So I come in, I'm the top manager. I throw the fire. He says, no, brother, I do the fire because I am from here and I am Adnan Hussein's General Adnan, or what's the president of Iraq now?
Oh, I don't even know.
Saddam Hussein.
Yeah,
there
that's
we
him.
go.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah,
I don't know.
So-
No, he's probably still alive.
Yeah, it was his childhood best friend. So he says, because I'm a proud American. All right, I was friends with Reagan back in high school. So I do the fire. So he got me kicked out of the territory because I wanted to do the fire. He wanted to do the fire. And then we do a fair show up in Minneapolis one time. Booked for a fair from Brad Renegans. Brad Renegans wants to do a fair show. Has General Adnan out there doing a USA gimmick. Couldn't believe it. Guy can't even chant USA. How do you chant USA? USA. Yeah, not Adnan. USA. Couldn't even get the chant right. What kind of baby face are you?
Wow. Yeah, I forgot that he did turn babyface for that fair show.
Yeah, miserable.
I got a couple other managers I'd like to. I just want to get off the Chikara for a minute, you know? It seems like the Chikara is really working you up when I talk about that. So I want to try to bring you back down a little bit, talk to you about
I get excited.
a few more managers, guys that I followed since I was a little kid. They passed away. You know, you talked about the Grand Wizard, but Freddie Blassie.
Wait, Wizard's dead?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know? Oh. Yeah.
I don't want to take the show off. I don't want to get off track here. All right. Whew. All right.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I thought you knew. But how about Freddie Blassie? It's a friend of yours, right?
Fred Blassie, that guy knows how to get heat. He'll go out there and he won't even tip waiters. And then the waiters get mad at him and he says, "No, that's good heat." I'm like, "What are you doing? You got to tip the waiter, you know." He'll drop his dishes on the floor. He's a riot. Laugh a minute. Great human being. Him and Kaufman. Oh, I could watch those guys all day long.
Breakfast with Blassie was incredible. You know, seeing you brought up Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
His buddy there that he had, you remind me a lot of him, man.
Oh, yeah, he
Tony
stole my gimmick.
Yeah,
Tony Clifton and Andy Kaufman used to come to the wrestling shows down in St. Louis, and they would ask me for pictures, they would ask me for autographs, they'd give them, "Hey, Lutka, here you go, whatever you want." Then all of a sudden I see myself on TV. I don't get a cut. Where's my money, Kaufman?
Okay, I don't think I'm gonna let. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words for a second here, which usually doesn't happen too often. I'm sure some of my fans out there probably wish I did, but if I have any fans, all three of them.
All three
my
people
girlfriend, my son, and my daughter. My other daughter doesn't even watch the show.
Oh, tremendous. I wouldn't either if I were your daughter.
What about Captain Lou Albano?
Captain Lou Albano been fired by Vince Jr. so many times, it's not funny. I love when I hear so many captain stories when he goes and works for Vince Jr. All he does is annoy him. So they have to sit him out in the crowd and everything else. They don't even want Captain Lou in the back. That's what I would do if I were working for Vince Jr. I'd go, because he doesn't like to be called Junior. And all Captain Lou does is call him Junior. It's a laugh a minute. I love Captain Lou. Terrible manager, Captain Lou. And if you're watching right now, I promise you this. You keep taking paydays from me, we're going to have a problem, son.
Wow.
That's right.
What about Gary Hart?
Gary Hart, a lot of people say I look like him too. If I were to get a haircut, I'd look just like Gary Hart. I don't know. Gary Hart, a very, very smart man. You know, Gary Hart can't bump. Gary Hart had a car accident or something like that, can't bump. So he's actually a lot smarter than me because every now and then I bump. You know, Gary Hart books his way around bumping. So he's made himself an asset in pro wrestling by booking the territories. And that right there, that's invaluable. That's like the little guy with the megaphone in Memphis there doing all the music.
Oh, Jimmy Hart.
Guy's going to have a job for life because he does all the music. He's an asset. So managers, we don't get a lot of bookings because, well, we're an additional cost. And what I do for, a few $1,000s, you can get your friend to do for free, just not as good. So you have to make yourself an asset. And you have to learn how to book the territory. You have to learn how to run the locker rooms. You have to learn how to make the promoters money without costing them money. Just being an idiot in a suit.
Nice. What about that guy that uses the phone, Paul Heyman, who went on to great things?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Wow.
No.
Paul Heyman. He's a great guy.
Yeah, one of Crockett's guys probably.
He's worked for Crockett.
Yeah.
He's worked all over actually. I'm surprised you haven't run into him.
Never run into him.
Wow.
Never run into him.
All right, so.
Whoa.
Are you ready?
Getting excited.
Are you ready to go back to Chikara? Actually, now you're getting excited. I'm trying to keep you a little calm here.
That's right.
There's a guy. There's two guys, actually. They were a tag team for a while, but I'll tell you, the first one, Icarus. What about Icarus? You friends with him?
Yeah. Well, if you want to call it friends, I call it he tries to hang out with me and all I do is pick on his terrible tattoos. You ever see the back tattoo on that guy?
Actually, no, I haven't.
You know what? If he paid $10 for that full back piece, it was $10 too much. The tattoo guy should have paid him just for practice. It's that bad of a tattoo.
Wow, I'm going to have to check that out. What about his tag team? Well, Gran Akuma.
Gran Akuma, that guy's stiff. You know what? Somebody needs to tell him that wrestling is a work. because that guy kicked people so hard. Grant Akuma has killed 4 people because of those kicks to the chest.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow. I had no idea about that. There's another tag team that they're like a snake.
Oh, the Mummy and the Snake.
And, what's the other guy's name?
The Mummy.
The Mummy.
The Mummy. I don't know. The Mummy.
Okay.
Yeah. So that right there is actually Kamala. The Mummy.
With
Kamala.
with the stuff on
No,
him too?
no. He's got the same color.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But he dances better than Kamala.
Kamala's a great dancer.
Oh, I didn't ever do that.
Kamala's the best dancer I've ever seen.
Really?
So he goes out there and he does that break dancing. The snake guy there jumps all over him. Couple of guys in pajamas.
Don't they put people in a trance?
They can't hypnotize. Absolutely not. They can't do it. I wear glasses, so it bounces back on them. I'm rubber. Their glue bounces off me. Stick to you.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's good booking.
Wow. What about Cobalt?
Cobalt's a little goblin from the toilet. Nothing good about. He sells these mystery bags at the shows,
right?
And he actually puts like dead mice that he finds in his pool and everything else. Not even his pool; it's his parents' pool because he still lives in his parents' basement.
Really?
Goes down, absolutely goes out there. Dad makes him clean out the pool for an extra $5 a week, and he takes the mice and the leaves, puts them in a bag, sends them to the fans. How are you gonna make money? You get no repeat business out of that.
So would you say he's a goblin?
Yeah, he's a goblin. Lives in the toilet, or
he lives in the
lives
toilet.
in the toilet.
Wow. There's another guy too that's Space Monkey.
I never met Space Monkey.
No.
I have a huge problem with interspecies wrestling. Okay, if there is a dog, that dog shouldn't be in the ring. All right, the yellow dog should have never been booked. All right, any kind of
what about the junkyard dog?
No, absolutely not.
Really?
More like the junk food dog. You see that gut nowadays, silly,
Wow.
Oh, Ritter. That's right. Yeah, no interspecies wrestling from me. Okay. I'm fully against it. I think that there should be a law, and all the commissions of every state need to band together to get all the animals out of wrestling. The space monkeys, the junkyard dogs, any kind of birds.
How about this one?
Yeah.
Thunder Frog.
There's another one. He's not even American. That's right. Thunder Frog is from Estonia. I couldn't even find Estonia on the map. I don't even think it's a real country. All right, but this guy comes in, wants to be a Thunder Frog. And
wow.
That hammer, I couldn't lift it up. I tried, and I actually did the Iron Sheik's Persian Clubs gimmick, and I couldn't get that, the hammer up.
Yeah, that's a huge hammer.
It's about 8,000 pounds.
Wow. Well, you brought him up a little bit, but I really, really want to know your real thoughts on Mike Quackenbush.
Mike Quackenbush is a piece of garbage. He's cheap. He's a carny. There is nothing good about Mike Quackenbush whatsoever. The only reason Chikara is good and still alive is because they brought me in, and that wasn't even Mike Quackenbush's call. That was the Chase there, the guy from the Chase. That was all the promoters call up Quackenbush because Quackenbush is dying. They say, you got to bring in Bakabella. Got to bring in Bakabella. Mike Quackenbush is OCD. Mike Quackenbush, he just has all these ideas, and it's a comic book. No, it's a business.
All right, then.
That's right.
What about, you're not a fan of the refs, are you? What about that kid, Bryce Remsburg?
Bryce Remsburg's nothing but a hanger-on. All right?
Hang-on?
That's right. He carries Mike Quackenbush's bags. He carries Leonard F. Chikarison's bags. I've seen him carrying Dasher Hatfield's bags. All he does is carry bags. That's it. He's a bag carrier, and that's why you're there, Bryce. You're not a good ref because you don't do your job. You always want to accuse me of cheating. I don't even cheat. I've never cheated a day in my life.
Wow.
Absolutely not. Don't need to.
Nice. Okay. There's a guy that was promoting in, I want to say Chicago, maybe the Minnesota area, Ed Schumann.
Eddie Schumann. God bless Eddie Schumann. Ed Schumann, one of the greatest human beings ever. I actually credit him with being the original Sidney Bakabella. He used to work for PAFO down in ICW back in the 70s. Yeah, down in the 70s. And Ed Schumann was the original Sidney Bakabella.
Wow.
His big match, though, listen to this, was it? He wrestled Laney Poffo in a gimmick match, stuff like that. Eddie Schuman's biggest match, though, was against the Bear, Snowflake the Bear. They sold out wherever they were. Him against the Bear. I want to wrestle a bear in honor of Eddie Schuman. Somebody book me against a bear right now.
Nice, nice.
That's right.
I thought you didn't like animals, though.
No, I'd punch the bear in the face.
That would be the
That's
end
right.
of the bear, huh?
I would knock that. I'd hit him with a roll of dimes, knock that bear out, hook the leg, pull the fur. Match is over.
Wow.
That's right.
So what do you think about female wrestling?
You know what? The broads are good for a novelty. Have them out there. Then they go out back and make us sandwiches. It's it's good to have them around. Absolutely.
Well, I was going to ask you about a few of them.
Yeah.
There's I hate to bring it up again because I think she's like a chipmunk or a squirrel or something. Solo Darling. Have you ever come across Solo Darling?
Oh boy, have I come across Solo Darling. She comes in with a bunch of sugar and just sits there and eats the sugar. She's gonna get the sugar diabetes. That's right.
She might.
Somebody better warn her. She might look good now when she's 17, 16, 15 years old. But I'm telling you right now, in 40 years, that's going to find its way to your backside, sweetheart.
All right, then. How about, there's a local girl from around here. She actually just won a independent title. Her name's Ashley Vox.
I don't know much about her. She's one of the sisters.
Sea Stars.
Yeah.
The Sea Stars.
That's right, my soul brother. She, you know what? Let the broads do their thing. If they can wrestle the other guys, and the other guys will play along because they want to, they want it to be nice. If one of those broads ever got in the ring with Sidney Bakabella, I'd punch him right in the face and let her know who the man of the house is.
Wow.
That's right.
That's you're not very nice to these women.
They're not nice to me. What are they doing for me? I invite them all to my Motel 6, and none of them show up. So you know what? Maybe they're not so nice to me.
I think you probably, you might be
They
right
come
on
in,
that.
they shake my hand at the beginning of the show. When a woman shakes your hand, that means that that's an invite to come back to Motel 6. But then they always stand me up. Always stand me up. Okay. I'm at the Motel 6, room 242 on the New Jersey Turnpike tonight. You can come down, wrestle Granny, and come see Sidney Bakabella.
Nice. What room is that again? Tell me.
243.
243.
243.
All right. Now, I asked you about the guy Colt Cabana earlier.
Colt Cabana.
Now, his trainer. Have you ever come across Ace Steel?
I know Ace Steel very well. Oh, Uncle Ace is what I like to call him. That's because he's everybody's uncle, nobody's father, because he's never been with a woman.
I did not know that.
We have a love for Chicago food, though. Oh, we'll go to Portillo's, Uncle Ace, and we will sit there and we will eat so much Portillo's. We'll have the Italian beef, the Chicago hot dog. Oh, it's glorious. I don't respect many men in wrestling. I respect Ace Steel more than almost anyone, and I kind of get the warm and fuzzies when I get the phone call from him. I'm like, oh, it's Uncle Ace. I love Uncle Ace Steel. Nice. So I love Uncle Ace Steel.
Nice. Where's the best place to get pizza when I go to Chicago? Where should I go?
You want to go to Lou Malnati's.
Lou Malnati's.
Lou Malnati's. It's all over the place. Don't go to Gino's because that's where all the tourists go.
Okay.
Don't go to Giordano's. That's terrible pizza.
Really?
Lou Malnati's is the good pizza. I promise you. Go to Lou Malnati's. Lou Malnati's, you owe me $40 for this plug.
All right, there you go. I got a couple questions about some local guys in this area.
Yeah.
Gino Martino.
Gino Martino, one of the last wrestlers I've ever seen. All right, this guy here is a strongman. Strongman like Mighty Antonio. You know, strongmen like Ted Arcidi, strongmen like Tony Atlas. Those are strongmen, and Gino Martino follows that great line. He's going to be a great champion. Just give it a few years. Let the guy get a little more time under his belt, a little more seasoning. That guy will be a huge star.
Did you ever come across the late, great Tony Rumble?
Never came across the late, great Tony Rumble. He was doing his thing up here in the Northeast while I was out in the Midwest.
Right.
So we never crossed paths. I've heard nothing but great things about Tony Rumble, though. All the boys out here, when I came out here, everybody said Tony Rumble, Tony Rumble, Tony Rumble. I can have nothing but respect because he trained some of the best guys. He put these guys to work. That's what a real one of the boys does, is he gives work and gives good payouts.
Right. And one of his greatest tag teams that he had was Eric Sprazier and Knuckles Nelson. Yeah. They actually won the NWA Tag Team Championships at the end of,
There we go.
What about those guys?
Those guys, they're a couple of workers, all right? We need more workers and
Big
less
guys.
Absolutely. And we need big guys. We need workers. We don't need wrestlers. We don't need guys doing flips. I want wrestling to go back to 1974. If you do a flip in 1974, you're out of the territory.
Wow. How about Jason Rumble?
Jason Rumble. Hey, how are you? I'm Jason Rumble.
Everyone does his
Absolutely.
voice. Everyone does his voice.
That's because that's all you know about him, all right? Jason Rumble never done anything, all right? Won the NWA Junior Heavyweight title 3 times by cheating. He's a cheater every time. Every time. He never had a clean finish in a Jason Rumble match. You know why? Because he's no good cheat.
He's a cheater. Wow.
That's right.
And, you know, I was a big fan of him. I'm going to have to rewatch his matches.
Watch every one of his matches.
I really am going to have to.
That's right.
You know, you brought up some great trainers, you know, earlier.
Yeah.
You know about a local trainer around here named Brian Fury?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him?
Never heard of him.
Really?
No.
Brian's
No.
a hell of a trainer.
Well,
you should really learn up. You should look into it, to be honest with you. Brian's a great trainer.
No, I like the guy at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. That's the school I like. I don't know any Brian
That's Brian Fury.
No, that's Johnny Vegas. That's Johnny Vegas. Johnny Vegas with the hair slicked back. He teaches everybody how to dance like Elvis.
And he comes up to that Viva
steals everybody's
Vegas.
money. Absolutely, that's Johnny Vegas. He's the real trainer.
He's the real trainer.
Absolutely. I don't know who Brian Fury is. Probably one of the students that's going around saying, "Oh, I'm a trainer," because he maybe ran a class when Johnny Vegas couldn't show up.
Wow.
That's right.
I got to ask you, what was the last wrestling show you attended?
Last wrestling show I attended was this past Saturday at Blitzkrieg.
Yep.
I managed Smart Mark Sterling. He got a bunch of master's degrees and everything else.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. He's a really smart guy. They put me with him, and we actually had the match against Solo Darling and the other broad. And Mark Sterling, I told him before the match, they're girls. We want the winner's envelope here, so go out there, punch him in the face. What does he do? Goes out there, punch him in the face, we win.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So he beat up Solo Darling.
Why wouldn't you? She wants to get in the ring and act like a man. You're going to beat her up like a man, right?
I guess
We
so.
got to make money.
I guess that's what you do,
Mama needs new Tupperware.
So are you familiar with any of the workers in this area?
Yeah, I know
Tell me
them
some
all.
of the guys you might like and some of the guys you don't like.
I love King Kong Bundy. King Kong Bundy's a funny human being. He and I, you know, when he comes up to the Boston Garden, Bundy will call me up, say, "Brother, come down." I'll come down. We'll eat a Kowloon, and then we'll head over there. I'm not allowed in the building on a Vince Jr. show, so I got to head home. But, you know, Bundy's a good friend of mine. Like a lot of the up-and-coming guys, you know, there's this one kid, Maverick Wild, that I really like.
Yep.
He's so green, though. You know, and he's out there. He throws the women's pantyhoses over his head and all that. He does all that crazy stuff. I like Maverick Wild. Sonny Goodspeed, another guy. He only has 9 toes. I don't know if you knew that or not. Sonny
No,
Goodspeed.
I didn't. Sonny's actually been a guest on this show.
Oh, really? Did you see his toes? He only wears
he
sandals.
actually had sneakers on.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, he always wants to show off his toes, and there's only 9 of them, and he paints 8 of them. It's really weird.
And I know you don't like that
I don't
emo
like,
stuff.
absolutely
You
not.
don't
He's
like
emo.
that emo
He's
stuff.
emo.
So Sonny's emo.
Sonny Goodspeed is emo. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow, he's actually going to be coming on again. He's going to be a special guest host, as I have on Setherin and Vanity Vixen. You know those two?
I've heard the names. I don't really know them. I've seen them around the circuit. That's about it. Don't really know of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What
Absolutely
about Gino Martino had his tag team partner, Ali Muhammad. Do you know him?
Sounds like an upstanding human being. Anybody named Ali Muhammad's the kind of guy I want to party with, ain't that right? Because those Middle Eastern guys, you could trust them. They won't Pearl Harbor you like the Japanese, and they'll always get the payday, always give you a good cut, always take great care of you. You go back to the hotel, they get the women, they bring the fresh apricots, everything's great.
Seeing you brought up the Japanese.
Yeah.
I heard you might have been with Ken Patera and Mr. Saito when they threw that boulder through McDonald's.
And here I am. I was the one that wanted McDonald's. I'm the one that wanted the filet of fish. All right, no tartar sauce. So I go out there, I'm like, "Hey guys, can you get me a filet of fish? I'm doing the driving here, you know, I'm the vet, you guys go in." It's not there, so I start freaking out. And I actually insult Ken Patera's daughter, Heather. And I say that Heather's no good, and Heather will never amount to anything in life, and it's probably not his daughter anyways. He got so mad at me.
Right.
He throws the boulder at me. I duck. It goes through the It goes through the window. I jump in the car because it's my car. Kempatera gets arrested. Saito gets arrested because they racial profile.
And they went to prison for a couple years.
They deserved it. He tried to throw a boulder at me.
Wow.
That's right. You know who came and picked me up that night and brought me to Burger King? Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff, because he's like a great father. Tie it all back in. See that?
Yeah.
Tie it all back in. There we go.
Wow.
There we go.
What about now? So you've run into Saito and stuff, but you ever run into Tanaka and Fuji?
Tanaka's not really Japanese. He's Hawaiian.
He's Hawaiian.
He's Hawaiian. He's working everybody. Fuji, not Japanese at all either.
What's he?
Absolutely not. South African.
South African.
Mr. Fuji is South African, and if he tells you anything else, he's ribbing you, because that's all he does is rib people.
I heard he likes to do a lot of ribs.
That's right.
Is it true that he fed someone his dog?
You know
There's
what?
a big story about that. Is that true?
That's been put out there so many times. Let me clear it up, okay? It wasn't the guy's dog. It was another guy's dog that he fed to the guy to get them both back. That's what Fuji makes you think about it. He's devious.
Wow.
Makes him suffer.
He is devious. What about, have you ever come across Don Morocco?
Don Morocco. Oh, have I partied with Don Morocco? Let me tell you about a time I can't really go into too many details. Let's just say it wasn't baby powder that he told the cops it was, brother.
Oh.
That's right. Don Morocco and I, he's a great man. Great guy. Actually, an awesome promoter now down in Hawaii. Running down on the island, he runs one show a year. That's why you're a good promoter, is when you only run once.
Right.
That way you don't kill the towns. Sick of all these promoters running every month, every other month, killing towns. Run once a year, get that big house.
Right.
That's right.
And I guess he's selling cars too. Would you buy a car from Don Morocco? I would.
I wouldn't trust him.
You wouldn't trust him.
No, guy would stab his own mother in the back for $40.
Wow.
I've seen it. I've seen him actually stab his mother for $40.
Wow.
Great times.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about where you think the wrestling business is going.
The wrestling business is going to all the smaller guys that play the video games. You want to be a big star in wrestling, you drink beer. You want to be a big star in wrestling, get on the gas, all right? Don't do the flips. Go out there and do the whips. Okay, we're going to go out there and we want men. We want people in the crowd to say, I can't beat that guy up. Absolutely not. Mr. Wrestling 2. Nobody thought they could beat up Mr. Wrestling 2 because Mr. Wrestling 2 was a big man. All right? The wrestling business right now, you got all these young kids, and it's my job to make sure these young kids don't make a buck. So what I'm going to do from here on out is go on every one of these outlaw shows and ask for a large payday, kill the towns, so that way there's no more wrestling.
Wow. Well,
except for me.
You brought up Mr. Wrestling 2. Who has the better knee lift? Chief J Strongbow or Mr. Wrestling 2?
Oh, Mr. Wrestling 2. Mr. Wrestling 2. I was actually at a show one time where Mr. Wrestling 2, I was talking to this fan in the crowd. And this fan in the crowd says, one night I saw Mr. Wrestling 2, or as I like to call him 2. He kicked Abdullah the Butcher so far in his head, he kicked his head off. And then the promoter came up to me and said, I'm the promoter of this show. You can keep that head. True story.
Wow.
I was there. I remember when that happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I am actually doing another show after this.
Yeah.
And I got a really great guest coming on. It's Travis Flip Gordon.
Flip.
Yeah. And if I were you,
Yeah.
I might go out the back door because you've been talking bad about flips and stuff like that. And that kid catches you.
No. Flip Gordon, he's 6'7", 290 pounds. He doesn't do any flips.
No, you're talking, that's Donovan Dijak.
That guy right there. That guy has money written all over him, Donovan Dijak. I'm telling you right now, because I worked a couple of indie shows with Dijak, when that kid makes $1 million in wrestling, I'm going to take all the credit for it because I say I know him. I'm going to act like we're best friends on the internet. I'm going to wish him a happy birthday on his birthday. I'll tell him I'm glad he was born. I'm going to act like I'm going to tell everybody I was his best man in the wedding. I'm going to do all that stuff. I'm going to act like we've known each other for years.
Wow.
That's right. That's how you make a living. That's how you build a legacy.
So what should I do as a host of a show? Should I do stuff like that? I mean, tell people because they were on my show, when they make it big, say it's all because of me?
My best advice, hosting this show, take 2 weeks off and then never run again.
Man, really? I can't do that because my kids need money.
Well, I can
You
understand
know what
that.
I mean?
I can understand
I
that.
make a big paycheck here.
There we go, brother.
I'm making the money.
Can't wait to get that check from you when we're done here in a few
All right.
seconds.
Well, listen, I want to thank you very much, Sidney, for coming on the show.
It's been your pleasure.
Yes, it has been.
Yes.
And I like to do this as I head out. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.